Well, welcome back. As we put the final wraps on Military Appreciation Month, it's important to remember that every day of every month we should remember our men and women in the military. And our veterans, when they come home, often they find it challenging to get back into civilian life. But there are ways to get help, and my guests this morning are an example of that. Paul Bosin spent 10 years in the United States Army, but found it a little rough going when he got back home. We'll talk about how he's made that a little bit smoother sailing right now. Jose Maris is the case manager with the TexVet program, part of the National Veterans Outreach Program founded by the American GI Forum. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Paul, 10 years in the military, thank you for your service again. We appreciate that. You got out and you knew that it might not be easiest to get a job in civilian life. Was it more difficult than you thought it was going to be?
It was a lot more difficult. I had assumed with military background that it would be kind of easy to find a job as managers look at the discipline that the Army had instilled in you. But yes, it was very, very difficult, especially trying to get into computer, because that was my background while I was in.
And the challenge now, when you were able to get connected with the TexVet program, I think part of that process, how did that help you? How did that change the process to allow you to go from maybe not thinking you're going to make this happen to getting a job?
Well, going through the American GI Forum, they gave me hope, and it was a nice support system to have because I knew that there were people on my side who were pushing for me to get a job as much as I was pushing for myself to get a job. So.
And where are you now?
I work at Shell Oil.
And it's a great. And 6 months ago, would you have envisioned you'd be at Shell Oil?
Not at all. I did not think. That was probably one of the last things on my mind. I was very lucky.
And Jose, in this process, so you see a lot of men and women like Paul. What is the biggest challenge when they come to you with resume in hand, fresh from the military? What's the biggest challenge for you in trying to help them?
Well, the biggest challenge for a lot of veterans is just making the transition. And that's what the TexVet program, which is funded by the Walmart Foundation, aims to do, is we target veterans that are 34 to 18 years of age, and we really like to try to get those veterans that are just separated from the military. And what we do with these veterans, we sit down with them, we do an assessment with them, we kind of find out where they're at in life right now, and then help them develop a career roadmap, and we do that through a thing, what we call the ISSP. And it's just a roadmap to help the veteran find out what his or her career goal is.
And when you came out, did you have a sense you had a career goal of some sort? Did you?
I did.
What was the challenge connecting the dots?
Well, when I got out of the Army, I wanted to continue what I had learned as being a geospatial engineer because that was my MOS, or military occupational specialty, while I was in. And I was trying to look for a job similar to that, working with various computer software. But it was very hard to try to find a job specific to what I wanted. So I kind of worked around seeing things that I had done while I was in and how they translated over, and something just happened to pop up, and I went for it.
So I'm guessing that if someone were to ask you about the American GI Forum and its programs, you'd be an advocate for it, and you tell people this is something you really ought to consider if you're planning on getting out of the military.
Oh yes, I tell a lot of people. A lot of my friends who I still communicate with, who are still currently serving, I tell them what I did going through the American GI Forum and the help and support that they've given me, and to, if they had plans of getting out in the future, to definitely keep them in their back pocket as a good, viable resource.
And the American GI Forum helped to go ahead and get a donation from Walmart.
Absolutely, yeah.
TexVet program work. They've committed a tremendous amount of money and time to this program.
Absolutely, they did. In 2012, Walmart initially provided a donation of $750,000. And then there's this announcement recently made, Walmart donated another $1 million to help with this effort. And through this program, we're going to be able to reach veterans statewide, which is awesome.
And they need to be between the ages of 18 and 34?
Yes, sir.
And most recently separated, you prefer that, but they don't have to be?
No, they don't have to be. The target demographic is 18 to 34 years of age.
Well, I'm going to put the information about the TexVet program and the American GI Forum on our website, so anyone who can want to do that. It's on I'll put it on the screen now. The TexVet program number is 1-877-JOB-4-VET. And on www.cliftonhouston.com, we'll have that information as well. So hopefully you'll get a flood of calls.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for what you do, and thank you again for your service.
Again.
Congratulations on the job well done, and the new job well done.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Our final thoughts and a look ahead to next week when we come back.